All right. I hope your afternoon is going well in this fine Friday. Finally back on a stream again. I know it's been a while. We had some issues with some updates on the Derptopia server because of some add-ons and things that we're using, so I've had to adapt my pack to be able to play on there. But I've got a decent amount accomplished on that, and still finding some textures here and there that I have to adapt and update. But anyway, I thought it'd be fun to get on here and hang around for a while today. So if you pop in, pop out, all the usual things. Hope things are going well for you. We're gonna do some building and some playing and see what we can get into today. Just double checking some settings and some other stuff like that for a quick moment, making sure everything's updating, streaming, transferring, all that wonderful stuff. All right. Well, let's get in there and let's see what kind of joyful things we can achieve. Good. Ping is good. All the other things look great. Should be able to enjoy this. May have to rebalance some of the game sounds and things, we'll see, but same with music and so forth, but we'll test it out. We'll see as people are actually able to attend and join. We can probably get some good feedback on that as well. But this area is the base that I've chosen for this season, and doing a much more sci-fi updated version of building this time around. This is my early iron farm that started a few weeks ago when we started the server. By the way, if you're not familiar, I play on Silentwisperer's Derptopia SMP. That is something that you too could join. It does cost monthly. You could look that up on his website. But that's where I've played for 6.5 years and continue to play as much as I can. Anyway, so we've got some building to do. We've got some mining to do. My main city that's over there, I've just started building into the sky. Got a lot of our builds present here. We may do a tour at some point, but for the most part, got a decent start to the season going. I've got Discord open as well, so you may hear that little jingle come through from time to time. First time chatter, Gilligan. Hey! Hey, thanks for stopping by. Hope things are going well. That's one of our server mates. Oh, you're not on the server right now, so that's even kind of you to join as well. Hope your day's going well. So, then of course you're gonna, those of you that follow know this, but those that come in later and watch the replay, this is my Kingdoms of Wallace texture pack in RTX. Another version is going to be coming out here soon, so be looking forward to that. I'm going to come down here and get some of this mining taken care of. So I've got a special design that I'm working on for the mining tunnels. As you know, when you start a season, all the things to do. I've been building all my local farms, and then also done a few collaborations with some others, but mainly getting my survival started. Was on for a good while earlier today, took a short break to have dinner and such. Understood. Well, good for that. Hopefully it was good meal and a good time there. We'll have to feature your stuff at some point when you feel comfortable. There's another. All of a sudden, our Discord's popping off right now. People must have got off work. But I do have a specific design that I'm working on for this area. That's why I'm digging it out so far for my mining tunnel here. when we get down to the tough, I've got a bunch of that I need to get, as you saw. I'm building a lot with that block this season. And the goal for the builds, for sure, nice. The goal for the builds this season is kind of like a space outpost on a foreign planet. So we'll have the military sections, and then we'll have the adjoining city that's being built as well. A little more space sci-fi design this time, which is a break from what you guys have seen previous seasons, but I thought it'd be a lot of fun. And this biome doesn't disappoint. I've got was just merely looking for an area that would have a nice mountain, not too big, but so that way I could still build into the sky, but already that was not having to be too terribly terraformed. And then I also wanted a plains area or similar close by. It turned out that this was a savanna, but that works just as good. And what's crazy is the area has savanna, plains, a small taiga. It also has a flower biome. So this was a wonderful opening night find. I was very, very pleased. Gilligan, if you are still in here, I did some updates, and I'm using a different headset, different mic. So everything seemed to sound okay. Balance of music, balance of game sounds, all of that. But I know that, you know, some people say, well, goodness, you're just doing minuscule work on the server. That's true, but I don't know if you're like me. I actually, a lot of the people I follow, I enjoy seeing these types of work done too, and it's... Where is Dom? There he is. We've got a nice community here. Very blessed. Ooh, I need to climb up to get that. Sounds good to me. Music is calming but not too quiet. Your voice is coming through loud and clear. Perfect. I thought I had the volume in a good place, but OBS opens had an update. Sometimes they screw with that stuff and it gets a little wacky. So thank you for that. Put away everything that isn't stone. I'll show you why here in a bit. Alright, let's build up here and gather this extra ores. So I've done a ton of the grindy stuff that you do in an opening days of a server, and been building my farms and all the things. But what I did this time around was to do the farms into the theme, so it's purposeful. It's not just farms for farm's sake, but I'm adding little work buildings. This is my favorite content after a long day to watch. Somewhat mindless project. Yeah, I'm the same way. Thank you for that. Got a decent amount of server lag. That's interesting. I'm surprised. It's been hit and miss lately. But we have power builders and people that we all play nice together, but there's a decent amount of stuff that goes on here. So just bear with it. There's nothing wrong. It's just adding a little bit of extra lag as we play. It's the price you pay when you play with a community, right? But with this being a new season, there's obviously some new players, some new people that we can meet and then eventually showcase their builds and stuff on stream. Spent all day gathering materials for Pothole. Wouldn't trade that lag for nothing. Got it. The other night I was in the Nether and just doing some extra exploring. And then getting a bunch of blackstone before we get a gold trader up where I can then do a little bit more blackstone from Piglin Trader. But anyway, while I was in there, we had a really laggy evening, and I was so thankful because lava was moving so slow. It was wonderful. And some of you will say, you've got a beacon effect. Why are you still doing it one block at a time? Because I don't want to put all this back. The way I work is I don't just destroy things. I try to keep it, have some sort of clean assembly. But yeah, as I was saying, as we go through, gathering sand was quite laggy. Yeah, that's a trip. When you start seeing sand blocks falling and falling and falling. Gravity blocks are wild when you're dealing with lag. But yeah, throughout the season, I hope to get approval from people and sometimes even have them on the stream where we can show their builds and the stuff that they're working on. Because we've got some really good players this season. So this is going to jut right into... Okay, well, we'll just let that be open when we get through here. It's not a problem. It'll just cut into our mining design. That's what it is. But I'm going to make this a finished tunnel design that takes us all the way down to 58. Ooh, hey. By the way, the reason it's so dark is we're playing in RTX. If we go into the cave in a minute, I'll take it out of RTX so we can see a little bit better and not die too easy. But you see me fill in gaps and things like that. That's the way I like to build in my areas. I try to make it easy in case I happen to mine through or something. Helps me recognize what's there and what's not easier. Okay, so that has to stay open. I've built a 6 beacon capable beacon down below, but I don't have that many beacons just yet. Let's see here, is that the right? Yeah, okay. So I've got 2 beacons, and that gives me haste and speed. Eventually, I'll probably only do 5. I'm not a huge one for the jumping. But I don't know. We might get wild this season and do that for a change. We'll see. I just haven't taken much time to get wither skulls yet. I did one night. I spent like 45 minutes at our kind of a makeshift farm. I think Fresh might have been the one that did some work on that. But I spent like 45 minutes down in there, and only to get maybe, I think we need one more torch here until we light this place up properly, to get 1 head over 45 minutes. And, okay, we're going to need to switch, because I don't want that. I want cobbled when I store it. So let's go dump some stuff. Looks like it's daylight again. But yeah, so I got one head out of a 45-minute session that night, so that was a real joy. I don't know why drops were so rough, but it is what it is. But yeah, this was a village. I should point that out. That's why this structure is still here. It's the last remaining structure. It's where my first chest stuff weeks ago. So I'm waiting another 30 seconds for the viewers that are not subscribers. Let's unload everything except for those type blocks. Copper. What is that? Iron. Coal. Welcome back, everybody. Those that are not subscribers from the ad break. So this here is my concrete maker ore buster room. Just started this week getting my dye farm built up. Flower farm, basically. So these are all my ores that I can strip out, and then there's the different concrete. I haven't done all of the colors yet, nor have I made all the colors of concrete yet. Let's see here. You said going quite small, the base, just one large mushroom, and spending efforts on community projects. Oh, very cool. Thank you for that, because we need people that are focused on that for sure. But yeah, I keep all that stone, and because I've got a smelter and everything up here too, so okay, so back down here, I'm going to switch to oh, we need to finish this other side first. So let's do that. Yeah, those of you that have watched over the years, you know, nothing I ever do is small. I may feel it's small, but I like to build, and I like to... So I've been doing all of the grindy stuff to start getting all of my basic supply structures built. Let's see here. Get these ores. All of them? Yeah. What was that? Was that gold? It was. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, I guess we did need another temporary torch until we light the area. Let's go ahead and just put a few down. That will help as I go down further. So if you play an RTX, a good rule of thumb is in the nether, the end, and mining is to turn it off while you're doing those areas, and then once you get it lit, obviously you can enjoy the finer things. So I always, if you've followed me long, I always go and do, we're going to collect all of this tuff, by the way, it's going to help us a lot. But I always go and do a mine all the way to -58, especially on the server, because this is where how we get our money, is by the shops. And so I prefer to mine and get money, and then I can buy from people things that I need throughout the season if it's in bulk or something that I haven't been able to supply myself. So a good mine area is very important for my gameplay, but we'll still theme it up. And a few of the designs that you'll see through the season I will have tested in creative, just so I can see some dimensions and some layouts and things like that, but obviously we'll do it all in survival on here. So this design needed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 out and 6 up, or 7 up, I can't remember. So that's what we're digging out. I did open a cave over here that we'll want to explore. You can see that bat coming out of it over there. Yeah, I'm going to need, so I'm going to switch back to cobble, because I want to be able to get cobbled deep slate out of here. And we do not a ton, but some redstone stuff, so having the cobble doesn't hurt. But I definitely like to use deep slate variants. Just have to be careful on the ores to switch back. And by the way, the reason I'm not too worried about the growling creatures is one of the first things I do, here we'll get out where we can see better, is I go through and I work on my character. So we've already got all netherite. In fact, it's fun to have the Kingdoms of Wallace t-shirt on, but we're not flying anywhere in here, so I should probably do this just for safety. But there's the full, get away from the torch, there's the full armor. Got the trims going, the whole thing. So that's why I'm not nearly as stressed about that growling over there as we were a few weeks ago when we started. Did all the grindy work to get tons of Oh my goodness, is that what I think it is? It is! Wait, I can't tell yet. No, that might be copper. Thought maybe it was deep slate coal. I thought when I was digging earlier, I may have come across some over here. But we'll have to look. I haven't collected any yet, so I'll be excited to gather some of that when it happens. We do need this because of all the concrete in our builds this season. We needed this gravel. And don't be freaked out about the fact when you see gravity blocks in RTX, they don't render properly. If you're not one to use RTX. Let's just light it up so we can see. And then as usual, fill it all in. You say, oh no, you're going to lose those blocks. No, I made a stone maker. So we can get as much as we need. Ooh. That looks like lapis. It is. There is another. Oh, and some deep slate lapis too. Nice. So if I don't end up utilizing those, so they're not reflecting properly. So basically what I had to do this season with my pack, most of you will download and use my normal pack. Looks like that's all of those. Yeah. But can't use the normal pack because the resolution is too large if you're running add-ons. So I'm having to change my pack with some updates, and I'm having to go through each individual texture as I make them smaller. Because there's a certain rendering process when you downgrade a texture with an RTX set. And so, having to do that. And I've just systematically been doing ones that stand out to me at the beginning. That's why some of them are rendering kind of funny. But if you're not playing on a server where you have that issue, then you have nothing to worry about. Sometimes add-ons will max out the game's capabilities, so then you have to downgrade textures from HD to... Ah, yep, there's a guy. He wants to die. I think I will help him. Alright, so let's get this all filled in. No surprises if we ever build through here. And we're going to have to go light up a little bit better. Okay. And he took out some of my stairs. I requested this season for us to not have creeper damage and got shot down, so we'll just put up with it. It's probably the least important feature in the game. There's more coming too. Okay, So what we're going to do is just seal off this edge. Just so we don't have to deal with it anymore. Not worried about it damaging me, but that's irritating. Let's see here. I do have some cobbled that I could convert if need be. Come up here and dump this. That'll despawn in a minute. Let's get rid of all these ores. That'll open space. Everything else I'll transport up a little bit later. Well, just a little diversion. Nothing too dramatic. Not even sure what I was referencing before. I think we were talking about the textures and all that kind of stuff. So, what they did is they added some add-ons this year that do changes to the block. That's where the add-ons are at, is the block atlas. And the problem with Bedrock is the block atlas is limited because of the multi devices that connect and play. What they haven't taken into account yet is that when you're on a PC, you actually download a different version of the game. So they could actually get rid of that limit on PC. But we're just not that far in the evolution of Minecraft yet. Hopefully someday we'll have that. But what that means is like my texture pack that I'm running at the highest resolution on Bedrock possible, and because I've had to limit it based on the texture atlas. As soon as we add these add-ons, they clutter up the texture atlas and they cause the textures in my pack to go grody bad. So I've had to switch from a 256 resolution that we normally run inside the pack to a 128 in order to afford room for the add-ons. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Any of these blocks that I can just make, I'm going to fill in like that. Seriously, I wasn't even looking at you, bro. There you go. Helped you finish your day. Yep. Okay, we'll get this closed here somehow. It's sad because all of these guys want to be friends, and I am just not having it. As you can see, I was through here earlier today. Look at that bat hanging right there. That's a really good deposit here. And this is a massive deposit, isn't it? Okay, so let's take out what we can. I don't think I'm going to do all of this. It's going to be a lot of replacing blocks that's going to get exhausting. I'll probably just get more tough as we go through the mines. Yeah, we're going to have tons of cobbled deep slate. So I'll just go ahead and use it now to fill in. Keep the light for the moment. What's our rows? just take a guess. Yep, those were 2. Nice. Let's see here. That's the side wall. Okay, so fill all of this in. Let's get some more. So, those of you that have followed in the past know that I like to have multiple projects going at the same time, and I usually do them very large. Several reasons. I just love the aesthetics of it. But secondly, I always have something to do. There's always something that needs to get finished, accomplished. And if I'm not enthusiastic about one thing, I can go do another. And that's kind of what we're doing tonight. I had mostly neglected this mine, but not for the wrong reasons. I needed to get my farms up and running so I could have the supplies I needed. But now that we are there, it's high time to knock this stuff out. We had our end event last weekend, and so that's why you are now seeing shulkers. Let's get this filled in. Nice. So all we're missing is just those 2 stairs there. We can cope with that. That's a row. This will be a row. See, that's the difference in RTX. You will go completely dark. I return. What have I missed? Not sure how long you were gone, but we had a nice little encounter with some mobs and creeper jacking with stuff. But apart from that, just kind of steadily moving this stuff around, filling in gaps. almost got enough blocks to have closed this in. Now we can just kind of treat it as normal. I think what I'll do is I'll save the major tough mining for when we get much down in the tunnels. Just so that we can finish this out without too much drama. So for the first 2 weeks, it was 2, maybe even 3, I can't remember. I think it was 2. Of the server, we couldn't use our own texture packs, and so that was my first time in several years to actually play the game in vanilla textures. So that was wild. That took an adjustment. I'd forgotten how much you can see in just about everything. Well, I am a fan of vanilla. Yeah, oh, I know. I think all of us are. I just found a niche of a product that wasn't being provided, and I enjoy getting to see builds in a much higher resolution. And then obviously I play on a server for the most part, so that's why this pack doesn't deviate from vanilla very much. It just puts you in a much higher resolution. And this one was geared towards being developed as a realistic, real-world pack. But I even match all of the colors from vanilla. So that way it maintains a symbol of unity as we go. Bet mountains look incredible. They do. Since you're here and curious, we can go dump what we have, and then I'll show you some. So that lag's getting us just a little bit. So let's see here. I'm keeping this up here because I've been making polished versions of granite that I've been using, and then let's use this for the tough. That's what a majority of the builds are, at least at this part of the base. And we'll put this cobbled so we can make more of that. This put over for the concrete, and let's dump all the ores. Is there a specific type of mountains you were curious about? Both of those are iron. So as you can see, this is my where the city will be. We were at the outpost base. And this isn't really a mountain, it's more like a hill. But it was high enough to get me started and still had some flat area. But we'll go flying past, see if we can find some mountains here shortly. I was just curious what types you might be interested in seeing. But what I did early on was I built the sky base, and then I've been building the base up to it. Mostly stone exposed, I'm sure would look good. Okay, cool. We'll go check that out. Normally I fly up to this, but I thought you might enjoy just seeing, because before we had wings last weekend, I had to do this every time. And this is the main storage area. I've been working on the roof, haven't finished that. I just got some more white concrete finished, so we'll be adding that here shortly. But let's explore here. I think there's mountains a little bit that way, not big ones. But I'll show you around briefly. So yeah, so that whole area, it had some hills and things that I leveled out from all the way back over there, all the way around over to here, and then back to the ocean side on the other that we can't see. And so that's going to be all the outpost working, and then this will be the outpost city that I'll expand out with different areas and things like that. Copper is nice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like adding that little color tone to this. It seems to offset nicely, give it a little bit more futuristic look. But let's do a little bit of flying. Sorry for the rain. Can't predict it or control it, but it's what it is. So this isn't actual shaders. This is RTX, and it's my pack. So with it being my pack, it has... I design all of the effects of how it would work. And then we're utilizing better RTX, which is designed by Mad Lad and several other key components that modify the game, base game setup. But I'm able to tell it what the clouds will do, how it will look, the colors, all of that. Better RTX adds the special puddles and all of that, but in my pack I actually desaturate the rain. As you can see, I've got high definition bubbles, and the rain itself is high definition. Reflecting in puddles in the grass, and everything is level. It is. Then if we go up high, you'll see the custom snowflakes. Let's go up even higher here to where you can see those. It's daytime, so that won't work. That's okay. You can still see these mountains, and I've got biome-specific fogs. Welcome back, those of you that were on the ad break. I went ahead and just did some flying to get us out a little bit further so that Gilligan could see some of these effects. But as I was saying, I've got biome-specific fogs that change color, thickness, all of that stuff. I thought I might land right up here. We'll hop around for a moment. So to answer your question, in Bedrock, there isn't such thing as shaders. Shaders are a Java-only thing. Yeah, fog is hit and miss a bit base game. Yeah, mine I've tried to get it, as you can see here in this mountain region, more realistic, more real world. We're gonna wait for just a moment for this second ad to kick through. Got about 20 seconds for those of you that are still with me. Okay, so welcome back, those of you that were on the ad break. I waited. About to say this looks more realistic. Yeah, that was the whole goal, was to just take, as you can tell, I model everything very much off of the base in this pack. I've got other packs for different purposes. But I model off of the base pack. That way, if you're playing on a server, this pack will allow you to look similar, but just in that more realistic HD playing style. But yeah, as I was saying with the fogs, you can see here, I've got them to be more real world like. So, you know, in the real world, you would have this nice little haze that would come from the sun through the clouds and all that. And then in certain biomes, I have them very, very thick or very, very thin. So Plains has a little bit more of a less than thick fog, but a dark forest will have a very thick fog. It'll go crazy, so it's more doom and gloom since that's a dangerous place. Doesn't look like anybody's come out this far because of the reset. We'll put it too close, so this village is pretty much untouched. But there you can see some of the lighting fogs as we go here. Thank you. Kind of you to say. So I'll show you a mountain with snow. So when we get into snow, I've got a custom fogs for it, and you'll see everything switches to a blue color, just like being in the actual mountains. So it gives you a much more altitude-based sky, even the sun effects, all of this. Now I haven't done goats yet, so their texture is still the normal base game texture. this gives you an idea of the power of what we can do in the game. Eventually I'll mess with vibrant visuals. They just still have so many glitches in it. And it doesn't compare to RTX yet. But I'm sure that they'll get there. They've been working hard with it. So then as we get out of the snowy biome, you can see we then get into a taiga. Has more of a natural mountain look to it. But yet still a little bit of fog as you go through the trees. Yeah, so that's a little bit of how the mountains look in this. You were curious about stone and all of that. So yeah, that's how that ends up playing. Yeah, very realistic, opposite of those plastic texture packs. Yeah, it's not saying that those other texture packs are better or worse or any of that. It's just, it was something that I had a desire for. This is a building that I still haven't finished yet. So that'll be something I've got to work on. That's why I needed more tough. I'd ran out right there. But yeah, that's why I started building my own texture packs, was I couldn't find one that would do what I wanted like this. We'll see if people don't sleep. Then you can see how this looks at nighttime, which is pretty cool. I haven't done any exterior lighting yet in the city, in the outpost, but Lighting in RTX is just a magical thing. Just gotta watch for creepers. I am gonna take this dude out so he doesn't bother me. If we go up... Nope, someone's sleeping. Okay, you won't be able to see the roofs, but there you go, you can see it a little bit. But that's kind of the full layout currently. Each of these are a type of farm or machinery or whatever that I'm systematically adding. Like I said, if there's bulk things, I'll buy it from the stores, but a lot of times I'll do my own harvesting just so I don't run out of stuff. And I finally had some turtles spawn the other day, and I couldn't get to... Ah, there's one. Okay, I can at least name tag that one now. I didn't have any name tags without them despawning. So now I'm carrying name tags and an anvil with me everywhere in case I ever need to do this. Because there was 2 that were in here, and I was going to start breeding them since they're spawning right there. Let's see here. Since he's the first, let's name him Leonardo. And in RTX, names don't appear. It's another glitch that they have, but at least he'll be kept. So let's just make sure, because it did take it. Just in case. So I don't want Tim to despawn. And then I have to get this back down. So this is just basic. Yep, good, it did name tag him with my textures without RTX. Okay, so hopefully another will spawn here soon, and then I can start doing a little bit of breeding. So I've thought about either making my own gold farm or at least being able to get the turtle shell stuff. But we'll see. It was just one of those bonuses of this area. So I'm glad we checked that out. That was kind of a nice little bonus. But eventually I'm going to do some stuff up in the sky over here too, and over here tentatively I'm thinking to make this area like the ship landing pads, things like that. And then eventually we'll have to come up with some sort of a dock system or something out here that where they explore into the water and the ocean and all that fun stuff. Always need a break from the projects, LOL. Yeah, exactly. Now, sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I will literally just go exploring just for the enjoyment of it, for no other reason, but just because it just feels good to get out and run around, or I'll talk to some other people on the server to see if I can go see their stuff. But now you can see, this is why I will say to turn off RTX when you're mining, because now you can see without any issues. Here's that cave that I had seen. I lit up a little bit of it, but I need to go through and light it up nicely. As you can see, a decent number of spawns coming in because it's underneath my base. Oh, for sure. Pop by anytime. I love taking a break to socialize. I appreciate that. But since we've got it off, we'll take advantage of that for a minute, where we can see just a little bit better. Yeah, I definitely want to see your progress here soon. You're not on right now, are you? Okay. Yeah, the other night, Woolier took me around his base and what he's doing, and Muffin Man has done similar, and that's one of the main reasons I'm on here. Safe community, but also a community that enjoys doing stuff around each other when possible. Whoops. We've made some good progress, though, just as we've just been chatting here tonight. Yeah, I had a couple of shop ideas that I thought, you know, I might do a shop this season. Wasn't sure. Last season I didn't do one because I just wanted to build and I didn't mind buying from people. And I'm still of that same thinking. And as soon as I logged on, there's 2 different shop ideas and someone was already on it. So it was like, okay, that means I will just buy from them this season then. It was an easy answer to my quandary. It's a good place to be. I quite like Whispercraft, but Derp is more relaxed. Oh, well, cool. That's good to know. I always thought it was, but you never know. If I'm honest, prefer to buy over collect. Yeah. I started to find out that most everybody was that way. And then there's been another reason why I haven't gone all in on a shop. Was I did that the first 2 seasons, but then I started finding out that I spend a ton of my time, of course that one season I was concrete, so it took a lot of my time away to keep it stocked. But then secondly, the reason I started focusing on making sure that I had my own farms is because people get busy with their lives and sometimes might be gone for a month or 2 or 6 months. Some people have actually disappeared for up to a year at a time, and then if you desire materials from them, you're kind of caught. So So Gilligan, have you always been a Whispercraft player? Or are you newer to our servers? I know I had seen your name around off and on. I just didn't know if you were a regular player. We don't have that many on. Yet the server's having a little bit of a time with lag. Probably someone's connection. Joined in 21, joined Whispercraft in 23, been on the staff team for almost a year now. Okay. So Gilligan, I did see your message. That makes a lot more sense to me now. I am going to get these layers, even though I'm not going to dig that all out. I'm going to at least get the layers down so that they're solid in case something fell through later. There we go. On the newer side, I would say, but I have known a lot of the stuff for about 4 years now. This is my first real season playing Derp. That's what I thought, and I was trying to think back. I was like, I didn't remember it being a regular thing. So yeah, good to have you around. Okay, that's one side down. And look at that, bonus. Five out of that, not bad. Let's see how much room we got left. Not a ton. If you liked the integration into the main server, I've noticed an uptick in activity, but I wondered if this was just the usual beginning. Yeah, time will tell. For me, We always see an uptick when things start, but I think it was smart and great idea to consolidate servers. Just because there's a higher chance of more people being involved. And it kind of brings a little bit of extra unity across the servers for Silent, which I think is cool. Oh, I guess I was low on slots. And, you know, the other thing that we have going that has changed is the world is kind of gently healing right now after just a lot of crap over the past few years. So I think people are getting back to where they can enjoy playing a little bit more, but also afford it again. You know, we had a good number of people that couldn't afford to do this all the time. And totally understandable. So I think that's a good thing too, and is helping. So good timing on the server. Good timing in general. How are we doing on full? We're almost full. Let's go dump. Then we got one more run down here. We'll have the dig out finished, which is pretty cool. Tough. Okay, we got a decent amount there. We'll go ahead and just put this here and ready. I joined the server as I was going into college and had a lot of time to invest into hobbies. Graduated in December. I've hit the ground running since then. Got married, moved. I've started a new, more difficult program of study, so it's opposite for me. Oh yeah, well, but those are good reasons. Those are really good reasons. And congrats, by the way, on all of it. That's excellent accomplishment. Yeah, there's certain seasons for things in life, and learning how to focus during those seasons are what make the difference ultimately. Spent an endless amount of nights studying. While hanging out in silent streams. When I say Minecraft fueled my college, it's no joke, and thank you. Agreed. No, that it can be a really good therapy for sure. I'm glad that it was a positive thing for you. That's cool. Yeah, it was beginning of 2019 for me. And I had been watching a lot of his stuff because I needed something. My kids were old enough. Jobs, companies I was working for, and myself. I just needed an escape. And so I started getting into Minecraft. Watched a bunch of his things. And that summer, just the right timing, he announced that he was beginning this server. So I hopped in. And have been here ever since. So condition myself into wanting to get work done anytime I hear his voice. Oh, that's funny. Kind of a Pavlov's dog routine. Silence speaks and you get to work. That's funny. I like it though. Well, for me too, just digging can be great therapy on after a long, rough day. But then also, as a creator, I'm a filmmaker in life, and I enjoy just the whole side of making stuff anyway. Yeah, it is therapy. I would agree. So I've got to think about the block that needs to go. Because it was going to be, this just hit me. It was going to be cut copper waxed to the side, but what does this block then end up being? I think it'd just be all of it, wouldn't it? Oh no, it replaces this block. Yeah. Because that would be the top of that one. That would be the top. I mean, the bottom of that one. Top of that. No. Because then that doesn't line up. So that's probably going to have to be each of these blocks. So if I've got a slab there and a slab there, then there's still a gap. Yep. Okay. So I'll just have to mine that out as we go. Just trying to think that out. Yep. That's what it'll have to be. Okay. That makes sense. I'll look at my original design before I start doing that. Okay, so since we've got all of this, I would say let's go put some work in on that. Turn RTX back on since we're topside. Let it load. I'm going to turn the render distance down since we're also streaming. It's going to be client side. I should probably get rid of that. Yeah, most of that stutter's gone now. Good. When not streaming, it doesn't have that issue, but because I play in 4K, it has a tendency to argue some. Wrong button. Okay. So in a half hour, I will actually step off and then come back and start a new stream. But I am going to get some dinner. Let's see here. I just did one on that side. Okay. Then we'll fill in the gaps here in a bit. Yeah, I'm doing the same all the way around. Okay. Got my wings on? No, I don't. Glad I thought about that, just in case we fall. So I need to go up at least one more then. Yeah. Save. Should be good. Wait a minute. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Gotta check it from the other side. Yep. Forgot to do that on the other side, so I'll need to do that. So this will be the tallest outpost building at the moment. Okay, so I did do it right. Oh, no, I didn't. So we need it there. This may be, we may only have to do 3 up. It's going to be a lot of glass to fill in, though. May have to go up one more. We'll see. This may be enough clearance. Beautiful ocean sunset. But we need to sleep before things bomb us here. Yeah, that should be tall enough. Yeah, that's enough clearance. Okay. So we'll put this edge in, the other edge in, and then it's glass and sea lanterns. Cool. Where is the raw chia? Okay, so that's ready to go. The side concretes is going to take some work, but we are well on our way. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Looking good. See how many sea lanterns do I have with me? Not too many. Oh, I forgot I was doing this. Let's transfer that over. So we'll need to get more sea lanterns. The reason I have so many sea lanterns is within the first 24 hours I went and found a ocean monument and was able to set up a 4-station guardian farm. So let's see here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if we go 2 and 2, that's 8. So 7 and 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 7. 2, 3, 4. Yep. So we will have 2 rows of glass, 1, 2, skip 2, 1, 2, skip 2, 1, 2, perfect. Okay, so that gets us started. It's going to take a lot more. We're going to have to do a decent amount of trading with our villagers to get the glass. But looking good. It's before... Still got about 18 minutes to reset. Let's see if another turtle has spawned yet, since they are back. Nope, just the one. Hopefully we'll get another one soon. It's coming together though. I don't think I have any... Oh, wait, I do. Never mind. Okay. For some reason I thought I had used it all. So since this is a savanna, that's why you get this red lighting and all this kind of stuff. That's how I've colored my savanna biome. Nice and warm. Nice. The red lighting is really nice. Do you have very bright sunsets or sunrises? Yes. So in RTX, depending on the angle of the sun, it gets thicker or less, especially with better RTX. And you probably noticed the sun angle is offset, more realistic. That's a little custom thing that they did inside of better RTX config files. So then as you see, if I walk out of this biome, okay, we're going to step over to a normal plains and then a flower biome. I've got it in a general fog. You'll see it switch back to a normal, beautiful day. And now we've got a whole different atmosphere. But if we swap back into savanna, it'll do that gradual effect back. So this way you've got biome dependent effects and lighting. And now in the flower biome, the fog is present but not super dramatic. So let's get out of the savanna. There we go. So it's just a little more clear, just like a fair meadow would be. And so you'll see sunset from the flower biome is more earthy, whereas sunset from a savanna biome gets very hot and adds that dry to it. So I wanted it purposefully to feel very hot and dreary in savannas, because that's the way they are. They're very intense. So there gives you an idea of a sunset. So that's why when I first found that little open area to do the city build, I came over here because there was a village, and I was like, oh yes, I want villagers. And it turned out to be savanna. I was like, that's perfect for a military outpost area, because it just kind of adds that extra mood. I thought that was pretty awesome. I don't know that I'll be able to reach that. If I jump, I can. Ah, that's what I was afraid of. The lag is acting up just slightly. Just don't want to step into the lava. Save me a little bit on scaffolding building. Those other parts, I'll have to scaffold all of it. Might be able to do the same thing here. Nope, it's too high. I'll have to do the last one on the outside. Last two, actually. So those ones up there I could walk around and do. All right, well, I think I will go ahead and hop off to be prepared for the reset, get myself some dinner. May do another stream later this evening. We'll see how the night goes. But anyway, sure hope you've enjoyed the time. Gilligan, thank you for hanging out and your kindness of conversation and everything too. It's been a pleasure. Yes, likewise. I was saying the same thing. Appreciate the company, and I hope your world is doing well this evening. We'll talk again soon, everyone. Thanks.